Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mainstream Indie Music channel. I do apologize. I'm not going to spend too much time because I do want you to get to the crux of this video, but I had a pretty rough week this week, and that's why this video is late coming out. There's no excuse for it. I do apologize to you guys. I do get a lot of support, a lot of love from you guys in the comments. It's funny sometimes the back and forth. I know I kind of have that funny cough now as kind of like a staple of the shorts part of this channel, but I do want to keep this channel going. I know kind of specifically the watch time numbers have kind of dived down a little bit, and I'm hoping that didn't affect my love for this channel because really I just want to keep focusing on indie music and the genre of indie and even pop punk. It's music that I grew up on, and I love to talk about it. You know, I got to go back to my roots, if anything, because that's what we started off with on this channel. You know, not even knowing if we were going to even have anybody who was going to bother to listen, and now we're doing amazing. So thank you again for you guys, and my apologies again for kind of getting late to making and releasing this video. Now, if you have not listened to the Justin Vernon Bon Iver video from a while back, I do recommend you to watch that video first before we get into the discussion of just the song Skinny Love by him and his band. However, let me kind of give you at least a way to kind of set up the video, and then like I said, if you want further info, then definitely check that out. Justin Vernon is the main voice, the singer, really everything on Forever Ago. And it started rough during that period of time. When he recorded that album and kind of got started with the band in general, Justin had actually run away. I guess you could even call it. He was living in the southern United States at the time, and within a very brief period of time, his relationship ended. He caught a pretty bad disease, nothing too serious, but like nothing mild either. And the band that he had been with had failed and had broken up. So in response to all of that, he returned to the northern part of the United States, Wisconsin, and essentially ran away into the woods. His family had a cabin at the time, and he pretty much just locked himself up. I think even over the course of the winter time, he locked himself up in that cabin. It's interesting because he says initially he wasn't there to make music. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to run away and record a bunch of songs. He essentially was running away from his problems, you know, and he was recording some music for another kind of side project, but probably out of boredom and to pass the time, he started to record himself. And like I mentioned in the beginning, he is multi-instrumental, he's talented. So, you know, he not only played the guitar and sang on all of the tracks, but he did like the percussion and kind of the synth and the kind of keyboard effects and so forth in the background as well. He did everything. Now, the biggest hit, I mean, that album, you have to listen to it all the way through if you haven't listened to that album before. It is heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time. And it is encapsulated by its major hits off of that album, Skinny Love. Now, what does Skinny Love mean? Well, Justin himself has explained it. He says skinny love is a term that can mean a person who is in love only to it's kind of to benefit themselves, but it's kind of like if you've known anybody who's been in a relationship and they essentially have no business being in one. Maybe they are just broken mentally or emotionally when they start the relationship, and then you can kind of just see the relationship fall apart because the person was not okay to begin with. That's kind of the thinking of the direction of the song. That's what the song is about, the meaning. And you can kind of hear it in the pleading tone that Justin uses throughout the entire song. Right off the bat, he says, "Come on, skinny love, just last the year." A person, again, that's not in a healthy state of mind doesn't really have the mental capacity to think long term when it comes to a relationship. So that's really just highlighted in the song itself. The song structure is very simple. The chords of the guitar barely change throughout the course of the song. From time to time, you have a small break in the guitar, but not too often. They kind of keep that strumming pattern the same. The song has kind of that verse, chorus, lineup, but near the end of the song, it almost ends abruptly, because they kind of get to the chorus a second time, and then it kind of fades off into like a last bridge, which is only a couple lines long, and then it pretty much ends with the guitar strumming that happens throughout, and he kind of plays himself out until the song fades away. Now, when the song was released, which he himself again did the production of the entire album, so he didn't really need to have a studio set in, it immediately caught a lot of attention, and it was submitted and released to there's two places specifically that helped the song grow rapidly, and it was NPR, which kind of featured it one day as a major hit, and then number two, it was released as an iTunes free song of the week. It charted right away in the United Kingdom, so he just had momentum right away after releasing it. Today, Justin Vernon collaborates with many artists, including many pop artists, and has released a few albums ever since. What do y'all think of him?